Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Right now at 5, turning off the lights. An unprecedented power shutoff leaves hundreds of thousands in the dark when Bakersfield and other areas in Kern County could see the lights go out.
24 deaths and counting. More people are dying from vaping-related illnesses, and it's claimed another life here in California. The latest on the vaping epidemic and what we've learned about the cases here in Kern County.
Need lunch plans today? We've got you covered. We're gearing up for our barbecue. How just $5 can get you a full lunch and help a local cause. It's Wednesday, October 9th, 2019. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher, and today the top story is going to be the weather. Yeah, we're going to take a look at your forecast right now with Kevin Charette, who's been kind of monitoring what the winds are going to look like as we go throughout the day.
Yeah, right now not a problem, but this is one of those weather patterns that can be somewhat unpredictable. We are expecting the winds to pick up throughout the day down into Southern California, here in Kern County as well. So it's something we're going to be watching very carefully throughout the day. As you know, we've been talking about the possibility of power outages around Southern California and some areas of Kern County. We're going to dig deeper into that in just a little bit. 62 degrees in Bakersfield right now. There are no winds, so it is a calm morning out there right now. We are going to be looking at 60 degrees to start, and then throughout the day, temperatures are going to be iffy. Now, it's all going to really depend on that offshore wind of just how warm we will get. Right now, we'll put mid-80s out there by 3 o'clock, a northwest wind at 8. Into the mountains, you're at 55 degrees right now. A light wind out of the west at 9 miles per hour, and as we take a look at the winds, and we're going to be showing this a lot, you can see they really pick up late morning, early afternoon for the Kern County mountains and into the desert, and we're also going to see those breezes pick up a little bit into the valley portions as well. And as we take a look at the overall numbers today, starting out into the 50s, we will be looking at some 70s this afternoon with those winds picking up again as we progress into the afternoon. I'll have much more on this coming up in just a little bit, but first we'll send it back over to Maddie and Alex.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Right now, more than 500,000 people are waking up in the dark this morning in Northern California as unprecedented power shutoffs in the Golden State are now underway. Just after 1 a.m., PG&E began the first phase of its public safety power shutoff.
The precautionary power outages are in response to a widespread severe wind event. The purpose of shutting off power now is to prevent a massive wildfire. Some 800,000 customers across the state are expected to be impacted. PG&E says the shutoffs will happen in 3 phases. Phase 1, as you know, is already underway. Phase 2 is expected to begin at noon today. And a third phase, which would impact the southernmost service area, is still being determined.
That includes tens of thousands of us here in Kern County. Here's a look at parts of the county that could be affected. The orange highlights the potential outage zones. 17's Karen Waugh explains the impact that possible shutoffs could have on the Golden Empire.
PG&E says it's a wildfire risk that's unprecedented. That's why residents in Oildale and other parts of the county told us they've received notifications saying their power could be shut off as early as today.
By all metrics, this is forecast to be the strongest offshore wind event since October 2017. Conditions being forecast historically have led to catastrophic wildfires.
PG&E could shut off power for more than 42,000 customers around Kern County. The reason? A precautionary measure to reduce wildfire risk.
Just would have never imagined here in southwest Bakersfield I can see Tehachapi or the mountains.
It's also important to remember that some of our customers may experience a power shutoff even though the weather conditions in their specific location are not extreme. And the reason why this happens is because of the interconnected nature of our electrical grid.
This would be the 6th public safety power shutoff in California this year, but the first for Kern County. This would also be the largest since March 2018. 60,000 customers statewide were affected then. Now, 800,000 could be.
We implement the public safety power shutoff as a last resort.
PG&E said this outage could also affect traffic lights. As for hospitals, state law requires them to have generators.
Based on the large number of outages, it could take several days to fully restore power after the weather passes and the safety inspections can begin.
PG&E says customers should be prepared to be without power for several days. That means figuring out backup charging methods for things like cell phones and computers, keeping hard copies of emergency numbers, restocking your emergency kit with flashlight, batteries, cash, and non-perishable food.
We weren't expecting it, but we went to the grocery store and grabbed waters and lots of canned food, so I think we're going to be set, and I'm really glad my husband let me put in a gas stove.
While PG&E is aware an outage could cost customers in hotel fees, lost food, and more, they say there's currently no way for the financial losses to be recuperated. Karen Hua, 17 News.
SoCal Edison estimates more than 19,000 customers will be affected in Kern County, especially in the Tehachapi area, Lake Isabella, and Fraser Park, among other places. For the most up-to-date information on outages in your area or to enter your address and see if you're affected, visit our website, kget.com, and click on the hot link icon. Meantime, this is a good reminder to be prepared for anything. If you want to sign up for alerts from Kern County's emergency services, you can. Just go to readykern.com.
Forecasters say this weather pattern we're seeing is similar to what we saw exactly 2 years ago when several fires across the state broke out. One of those fires devastated the Bakersfield area 2 years ago today. One fire was in the area of East Pacheco and Cottonwood Roads. The other was in Oildale near Willow Drive. Each took between 4 and 5 hours to get under control. 5 county firefighters were injured fighting the Cottonwood fire. 3 homes were destroyed and nearly 24 horses killed.
Now, new this morning, health officials in Kings County have confirmed a death connected to vaping. Health officials say the person was suspected of having a severe lung injury relating to the use of e-cigarettes. This is the 3rd person in California to die from vaping-related illnesses. The 2 other victims were from Tulare and Los Angeles counties. The State Department of Public Health says since June, more than 115 people statewide have been hospitalized for breathing problems and lung damage linked to vaping.
It is possible Kern County may see even more cases of lung injuries. The CDC says it's aware of nearly 1,100 cases of vaping-related illnesses nationwide. In its update last week, the CDC says 18 people have died from the mysterious illness, but states now say as many as 24 people have died. Just yesterday, health officials in New York announced the death of a 17-year-old. Here at home, County Public Health Director Matt Constantine repeated that Kern County has 3 confirmed patients, but added at least one of them is under the age of 18.
I will let you know, too, there is multiple other cases under investigation now that we think likely will be attributed to vaping.
The CDC says most patients use products with THC and nicotine. Health officials are urging everyone to stop vaping until they can figure out what's going on. Welcome back to your 17 Health Watch. Some alarming statistics from health officials. 3 sexually transmitted infections hit new highs again here in the U.S. That includes 1.7 million cases of chlamydia, the most ever reported in 1 year. The CDC reports infections from chlamydia and syphilis are up. More than 1.7 million cases of chlamydia were reported last year. The infection rate rose 3% from 2017. About 580,000 chlamydia cases were reported. That's the highest number since 1991. And the syphilis rate rose 15%. In Kern County last year, nearly 7,000 cases of chlamydia were reported. 2,300 cases of gonorrhea were reported, and 280 cases of syphilis were reported.
A recent report from the American Cancer Society is giving us the most up-to-date picture of breast cancer in America. One positive, fewer women are dying from the disease, but overall cases are on the rise and minority women are most impacted. Sarah Dulliff shares the reminder doctors have about the importance of mammograms.
I'm good.
Is this first time at this event, or do you come
More than a decade after being diagnosed with breast cancer, Cheryl Crow is singing the praises of early detection efforts like mammograms. Getting one helped save her life.
Early detection is our greatest weapon until we have a cure.
In a recent report, the American Cancer Society estimates some 268,000 women will be diagnosed with invasive breast cancer this year. More than 41,000 will die, Black women at a higher rate than white women. Those numbers, while staggering, represent a continued drop in death rate since 1989.
We're doing a much better job in terms of early detection with mammography and other approaches to finding breast cancer early, and our treatments have gotten much better as well.
However, the number of cases is climbing, perhaps due to women having fewer children than they did in the past. Another possible risk factor, an increase in obesity. Doctors recommend regular self-exams at home.
You might feel a mass that you didn't feel before, or it's tender to touch, or it's painful. And also if you have maybe some discharge from the nipple that is concerning to you, that is when we want people to go to their doctor.
Even women with no family history of breast cancer should start talking with their doctors about mammograms around 40. Cheryl Crow has a message for those who may be apprehensive.
I tell women, ma'am up.
Cancer-fighting words from a vocal survivor. Sarah Dolph, NBC News.
The American Cancer Society says women who are at a high risk for breast cancer will most likely need to begin screening earlier, but it's always important to talk to your doctor first.
5:25 now, and if you've filled up lately, you've probably noticed you're shelling out more than usual for gas.
The reason you're paying so much at the pump, still ahead in your 17 Business Watch.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Gas prices are dropping for most American motorists, but if you filled up recently, you've probably noticed that's not the case here in California. Prices here are averaging above $4 a gallon. In some areas, it's even hitting $5. The price hikes due to unexpected outages at several refineries that supply gas to the West Coast. Industry experts expect fuel prices here in the Golden State to stabilize by the end of the week. Right now, AAA says the national average for regular gas is $2.65 a gallon. In California, it's $4.19. In Kern County, the average is $4.13. According to GasBuddy.com, the lowest price on gas in the Bakersfield area is $3.70. You can find it at the Minute Stop on Union Avenue in Central Bakersfield. To look up gas prices in your neighborhood, head to KGET.com, then click on the traffic section. Walgreens is getting out of the e-cig business. The retail pharmacy chain announced it will stop selling the e-cigarettes as more states and cities develop regulations banning the products. The laws come as governments struggle with questions of how to regulate vape products after several deaths have been blamed on them. Walmart made a similar announcement last month. Walgreens will continue to sell traditional cigarettes. Alex?